I'm watching Amawo Akwaba, Ahaye Adom TV, Oti Enka Radio Soa, Asempa 94.7 FM Suni. And then June Bosomini that Tosso and 9, June 4th. It rings a bell, right? Yeah. And run June 3rd. Kai pa Atorencha Moa Eto Omei, June 3rd. Nia Khan said never again. And then so see June 4th, Majidi said in our political history, no, Ejina Homa Niema Bebri. Now, Chujuma the pencil so Yasim Kunya. Yede Ebrel live on your TV and of course online and of course on radio. Media the Chief Jerry Force and Kaya Hon, Nenford Media Yedi Free 355 Farnofa Street, Kokomlimli, and Edit Media Yede Ebrel. Mama joining on Facebook also the Church Obibia, Mobibia, Achen, Mobibia, Akwaba, a quite from Koso. Now Chujumedi and Ansemwa Edia Kotene, Ewa now Chimuni Nano, Yajibre, don't shrim you na afei. Ye bobo ho na ye hupomano ni sibre midin the Chief Jerry Force and obetimi afremi CJ on behalf of my production team Ura AC Ohenedano Welbeck Kofi Ampedu Akwesinsia Dache Hene Nana ya Wasante Presla the technical production team omo ejina yechia ye de dwumadi ye de bro ye da se na wotwi asemba ko a edi akotene pa ye beka ya former general secretary of the NPP Ora Kwajo Owusu Afriye adodo no ayefre no Sir John wo free mu enche dia ni wuachi na ne will abetodwa in fact me kai pa about 22nd of March and 22nd of May kafra 22nd of May na ekwasiada na ne will no efa bi ebeto abonten a na ensase a wo ewo Achimota Forest Reserve ebi nso ana wo no Ramsar site ewo Sakumono sika ahodo a eda account ahodo mu ni nyina no ebeto dwa asem beto dwa no yensem trefo de yigina finfin enti atwetwe ho nkoma won ye bia obia ejina enkenkane amanyofo na wotwe mu owura kisi ajaben a oye special prosecutor e de kata beto abonten se ohwese ne ansem no ekono a owura Sir John wawudie enso na japade ahodo nyina no wode ne nsa atoso ensase adan bank accounts ahodo wode ne nsa atoso anapei ye pese ye gibre pa na fei yetie mu nia emra no eka ye ne mranimfo ebetwetwe nkomo ye de kan bisa den pa na ma OSP wanya interest e wo Sir John ne nsemsemi ebu den pa na ma no enya interest e wo Sir John na japade yi emu na fei ye bisa ebesi Sir John nko a ananso so abayadwumayefo politicians obia no special prosecutor eba betu sa na mo no na fe wahwehwe obia japadiem enkonkoye se na kirasem ananso so wawu no na fe ya be freeze na japade ahodo ye wo asset declaration emra wo ho ye de sa emra no ye de eye adwuma ananso so etisen anapay ye ne animdifo ebetwetwe ho enkomo na fe ye bisampo se aso wo mo asa japade akwakodi wo mo ensem no senia krata no ana special prosecutor wo kire no eso mba be kirem kwan ya Sir John wo fa so enya asansase no ebie sa bank account no na sebe mi ameti hei se mi wo fa free mu na se wagya mi asase ana wagya mi sika mesi dia be kirem se mi wo fa no aha no onya sika no free ana kwan ya wo fa so eto asase no eno no all these are questions I ebisa na fe yenya ano emuaye na aboa wo so a wo hwe na wutie yen enu ye nkomo a edi kan etoso mienu nana adodan kwa Akufo-Addo won ma metra akonya nso kra na o se won Nyankopon ekwa apam se ye to ababa no obedi o mampani a wo besi National Cathedral na se asoridan kese a agidifo me kire ekristofo nyina ebetimi akwakohie mu ho na wo mo akwakosom Nyankopon ye tietie mu no ano na ebo the total amount $200 million $200 million na sikano wo mo kire se ebi be free aban ho ebi nso be free asore ho na ebi nso so afri ankra ho na adwuma no akoso since 2018 that they are so bofem adan ese adwiragu ma asase ne da ho adwuma no ekoso because sania o mampani kire mu no 6th March 2024 6th March 2024 NSSS asori dan kese ye pa hontoma ma fei ekristofo etimiko na omkosom bom ye se adwuma no ase nkontabu papa bia anhye da mai na wotwe kata date was no 31st March 2022 every finance ministry give you authority say yentua 25 million Ghana cedis as seed money na enko cathedral no ni sie no emu 25 million Ghana cedis and no dollar in dollar terms we are looking at 3.25 million US dollars and yede akoshe sa adan cathedral no emu anapa ye bisa sa sika 25 million no efrihin fa pote na sa enkomoi ana enra yene deputy finance minister Dr. John Kuma atwetwe ho nkomo ebisa ne nsem a me bise ya sika no efrihin ehun kontabo atisen enra bedwam djubedie so honorable finance minister eni minua amahene kwabna sante atwetwe nkomo yankoni enkote san nkomo twetwe ne ye ba ya to aso
the cartel bia beto abonti HS abaye support to eye dan kase esiama Kristo abusua no nti ehun asem na ko era John Kuma march apom ti say
me josu me tia no adwuma pa me afia no momo na yes that's adwuma pa from Dr. John Kuma osu didi boa Ghana quickly ye pese ehun se krata bia beto abonti a efri maso ye ho declare support for the National Cathedral on some sanity. Sanity.
My intrimu kakra na emo e rem kakra.
You me that say intrimu wo mo na say aban e dey say me so say e be see National Cathedral e dey ma oman. Na 2018 budget no no aban di shey ni even this year 2022 budget. Quite have a first one, you be see National Cathedral. And I say, or mine, and sorry, ni ankra. You be state partnership. That was the word I used to hear. Partnership. Say, be Campbell. Na yet to me, I see, sorry, that I know they are mine. You can see a member secretariat, they are say. Everyone, so that and they can't be provide the seed money. Now, this year, Crampodia, you can send in $200 million. Yes, and the USSD code between James star 79 stars. The refugee code, the amount for person more contribute to church, the number to me, at your more contribution.
Yeah.
And the letter now, is part of the seed money. Aban share but say or the Beboa Massa Cathedral na yesi no kakoso. Well, there's nothing unusual. It's just part of the normal expenditures of government I have budgeted for the year.
Well, minim the Omanaka say be unusual. The Ebesia Tia said nano da ye Ghana sikasa mfuto area can ofrata kujida mashibi game. Our case ye bi mwa sa Cathedral nkomo no. Sa yi bi no na bedu sam pempenso yana.
And non sonko and you be born first of all, it can be a idea where be actually a buying the man for there because the ownership of the project a Ghana they are 100%. Now say a buying two options that a buying a baby sikadia and now only a man for Becambo, man crank Becambo marry this canoe. Whichever way it is, Manina say your mind there. So for the different crank or cramp, Punas out the Bayas or Dana. Why am I mining?
Esusie bini se diamond yi kakaba esusie bini se ebre wumi ene cathedral si ene asetena mu nsem ba ko mienu bi no esusie ni bini se ade na aban home so kakra na sika so no se ne ko ntimi fa enya ade fufuro bi ma oman ni mu ni padodo na ntimi nya ho mfa so
yo cathedral no so ya de kase mo oman ni padodo pa enti edin kan enye sika ye to sika okay revenue projections I see we are child 15 years sika ni kabia ya bo ya sabe kama na sabe yo manager padie e o muta mo chere o man na so yakoso yi kwan yakoso si school adan yakoso si hospital they want to buy ye bia it's not say budget there are different budgetary line item for different things and the fact say ye kotua kakra for Cathedral and say hinchia a cabia yet other school fee or health insurance so any revenue and any expenditure commitment of government to be due, we are going to pay. And the mutually exclusive said the fact says when you start a cardiac question, National Cathedral, would be in other areas, you are not going to pay. But this is also a very important priority for government. I must say, who here to one or more.
Well, the Okano, son, it's here, but it do maybe a dependent with you say, where your ministry, Bibia, the Sika 7 into Chiene Sika, a GA copier for by the ministry because the Sika 7 home aqua trade, a credit, a crana, a wono, ever see a boho by ye, nay whom mea a here or minor, near to me, Eddie Kosha was in the bear. You know, a honama aqua Bibia or Sika, a bit man, Sika say, Eddie to an among say there. Ebi because na we mu yentua ana we mu yentua muka ana we mai se yentua muka san tiase na be na wetima chiri mu yi
amine edin kind no menim bibia o say ya yentua sa issues no more can in the course of the year no on say o budget for the year releases number as and when is due agency bia na ministry bia na department enche bia be committee budget review Obia ye man the budget bia no you release ni nyina krampa ye release bia ma enti aye kakra and the way Ghana isika sem antutu ye tie no every bia no eka ewa abanani because we kan eye anamuntu no ansa na kota ne so a abanya kotua enti no bia ba bedeka there won't be any point in time abanya tua ne kan sana umine sika something say and you know exactly what the problem is ye so can a buying commitment won't say betia sika way at this point in time ina say I and so the medical can and yesika we free had ya kwhye ha esika what try to say and also can we just say I want to betia and you know utia won say but ina ne private say the market say NDC for Euro could the tonuma or more raise this issue or more bemono. No more priority a judgment debt. Omutia we on 51 million cities. Sabrina Hospital, a health insurance comes so we year for the capitation grant number. I said the capitation. Ama Oko Hospital and not a sound cash and carry near the Mutia water billionaires. Judgment debt became a business for them in their business and on a more priority. By end there. They say your priority is said, and your my yina, your business is National Cathedral, so they are I'm a be a Japadia hold of my one and also a become because it's an asset to the state, you know, and yes, a car will to go. A car after a while, a better be for so they are more minor. That's a promote to religious tourism in our country.
All right.
Now, I think the problem I've been wanting to say, no man penny na koshe anymore. Na me o mampani ba makura so Sankore na say so bro ye campaign was me ba Messi school dan mamo me ba me mo kwan mamo me ba Messi hospital na Messi asori dan mamo no be your mampani a enye ne botom sika no de be say adwuma no e your mine sika e no de be no ye so a onye mfa o ye e de si ho de amman ni nyina there's nothing wrong say e de o mine sika e be ye o mampani ani so ade.
Okay. Me na wase I think say brother beba wabubuano na afi ye de kono after so that's it. Okay. On the character bia beto abonti HS abaya support to dan kase esiama Christo.
Well, enti enkoma ye ne Deputy Finance Minister Honorable Dr. John Kuma atwetwen enra e wo bidwam menua oman na kwabna santene ne twetwen ani reasons are omo esusu say enti ehuhia says kano ye de kokoshe the National Cathedral no mu na ote so de nchemu eba no na opani ba kwaba ahoma no so badansa na no mewo minua Paul Griff Boache Dankwa or a member of the NPP National Communication Team ewa and a government spokesperson on governance. Okay. Ora Boache Dankwa akwaba
yo minua be ma michiao signed in chia ma wahwefo no pay.
Bibia bokode
oba dia daruma me say me bomodin din chiama Jennifer Oforiwa Queen Deputy Communications Director for NPP and then the birthday.
Oh, okay.
We did 40.
Oh, okay.
Inti yenya yebono abaso aka kyerɛ sɛ nyame hyira no na nyame ma no nkwa na onko so nye dwuma pa na ɔyɛ ma political party.
I mean. But all this, seed money, buy 25 million, I said the hue and cry. You communicate for the government. Who is saying?
Many abema, I say your day in communi be a situating a year.
Okay.
Say Oshe National Cathedral, Ghana, per se, yesino. Go beyond just the worship. Anko for beko akwako sum ewom. Onim wiase afanenya even in Germany, Cathedral be one of my friend Cologne. Afibia no omunya to me raise close to about 5.5 billion euros in terms of sika omunya. And about 6.5 million visitors omoba ebe sa cathedral no. Economic benefit ibenya from the cathedral na Ghana yesi no. It outweighs more than say yebeko ni akwakosom ewo honom. Now even with the whole architecture of the cathedral na yesi no, enye osompe ene yepese yede ye. Ye wo baby yepese yede ye museum. Ye wo bookshop honom. Inema bebre a yede ye nti enye just a place of worship. Nti see a situating commodity ye pa ma Ghana fo hu wo hwe even in Israel nkofo bebre a omo pilgrimage ewo Israel. I mean even omo ko Mecca ni niema no omo ko as a result of tourism. Omo ko hwe basilica ne synagogues na ye wo hono me mako Israel mako tena Israel kra be ye efie miensada a wo ko Capernaum wo ko hu Peter synagogue wo hono ma na Yesu Christo wo hono. I mean all of these things no wo hwe economic development no ne infrastructure na eba no. But the argument really na beba ni say wo hwe Ivory Coast no ma omo basilica wo hono bia obeka say it's not contributed much. No, Ivory Coast basilica no wo hono no enye a holistic cathedral. No, to me looking into the other benefits na ebeba no so no. Oshe Ivory Coast then is just a place of worship. But yeah, the na yesi no ebe contributed significantly to the economy of the country, other benefits na wo no museum e pese ye no major events and activities na ye pese ye de bana ye disisi onum nya no key ingredient. Inti ye elevate argument ne kakra ne yen kase bia aban kase or ye odisika to honum esi asori dan. No, aban making sure say the future no of Omai no situated very well economically. Sika ye benya tourist attraction ye benya se nkofo kase omo ba Africa. Ebi omba omo kase me ba Africa me ba behwe cathedral na yesi wo Ghana no na se bi papa kra betumi aba wo wiase a Ghana so etumi esi cathedral a sesi ano lifting up the image of the continent. Let's look at it in that perspective with the economic sika yebenya and the tourist attraction yebenya.
Okay. So you can't museum and museum nyade Ghana ha ye ni bi wa ha. Ye museum wa ha. Na wo wa ha kra no what has been the investment? Then sika say na ban de ahyemu. And then of course, you see 5,000 seater cathedral. Yeah, well, auditoriums for Ghana Hankrai ha a city 14,000 like the Perez domes and the other auditoriums. I mean, if we are placing our priorities right, this money should be channeled somewhere else. And these are the arguments people are raising. Say this is okay. First, nearly can you really adan na wo ho nyina judge for adan you really ni nyina gu. And suddenly this our project so I don't know.
Minya send America no Perez dome any even action any some Kwanchankra sorry I will see just not far away from here no all of that no any national figure the national cathedral no yes no national figure cathedral yes no babe place all the developmental infrastructure work buying person in proper perspective send ye no dome say war or mining money no any national character no into a situating ye other events na a war in the cathedral no ain't just a place of worship send your kind of museums be Ghana no yes clearly your museums your other tourist attraction but we need more no ebema ye that national figure send America no even oko Europe a lot of Europe in kofo bebre omo take pilgrimage and omo take visit ebi omo call Rome omo kwa basilica ne temples ACC's one it is one of the most centrifugal figures ICC onoma e makro no etumi gina ho yie pa na so ba Ghana na ba Accra e se etumi hu bibia ebe representing a year because clearly no already even with the national census clearly no you to me identify you as a religious country even though even in the constitution you say a secular state you to me identify you year pass Ghana is a religious country close to about 95% of the entire population of this country are religious so you Kramoni and also you Christoni and also you Aladurani and also you traditional worshiper clearly no all of us you appreciate the supreme being over us. Inti weno bibia represent your culture, represent your identity, and it goes beyond the worship. Sika benya as a result of tourists on beba inema beba chrome hanum no ye situate yakra with all the infrastructural works in ebebuano. Inti eno no hwe ni na ye after ewa hanum ye national cathedral ewa hanum all of those other big infrastructure in your airport city all those infrastructure no is coming to play to make sure that Ghana becomes the one-stop shop and the one-stop country for the continent of Africa.
Okay, right. This one is from Imani Ghana. Finance Ministry is the most fiscally reckless institution in the country. Imani for no more can say. Now let me take a read. Nafi Minjansu Mbisa Wasem. The Finance Ministry has been ranked by Imani Ghana as the most financially reckless ministry. That is according to the latest Fiscal Recklessness Index launched by Imani Ghana on Tuesday. Officials of the policy think tank explained that the ministry has recorded more than 11 billion cedis in losses to the state. The losses were based on irregularities tracked in the Auditor General's report between 2015 and 2020. And it goes on. Speaking at the forum in Accra today, research consultants for Imani Ghana, Dennis Asari, said, over the 6-year period, the Ministry of Finance consistently appeared as the most reckless in the institution. One major reason is that when we say Ministry of Finance, it is not Ministry of Finance headquarters. When we say Ministry of Finance, in the Auditor General's report, it includes subsidiary agencies like GRA, because the Ministry of Finance, beyond its role as a sector ministry, is also central management entity. Now, in this austerity, in these times, Sabreya, Niememu Ayedin, Progressive, Sabreya, Yeka, and then Yebeye Esukodo, there's a documentary on our poultry industry. A car, yabo, a car, send us a poultry industry, silos, there are people who still sit on blocks, children, and Kora Wamo at Diase Eco School. You won't boho in Supapa, one Benyanum Crano, one Yabinum. Near Kukuru, over $3 million, which is about 25 million Ghana cedis. Say the Kwakusia sorry die. Is this relevant?
Let me say,
no, but I want you to respond to Imani.
Oh, you see, Imani, Franklin Kujo.
Yes.
Unim. Say, Obi a researcher. So, especially for me, I'm a academic, I say, me o research in me who ye. I've not read the document. Me who sample size or you see ye. Me who ni parameters, me who responses, Inti, Nyameti can say, civil society organizations, ye hear omo. Ewo or minimum. And so be a research. Na say or the insane pieba. I see in yabo train ship. Mebo modern na making kind research no. Even before me discredit no. What you say? Me person me discredit research no without am yankasa minya adaje enhwehwe mu. But to say the Ministry of Finance has been reckless. Minya bema, I think say Krom Hanum no, we should be careful. This is a state institution. This is a ministry. The more you're defaming and discrediting our own institutions in the country. Me, I don't subscribe to such. You over to me have your own concerns and challenges. But to purport to discredit and disclaim and defame institution in many years of our independence, for me, it's not a place that we should go. I would discredit that statement on that ground to say the Ministry of Finance has been reckless. In fact, to be fair, it is this same Ministry of Finance that salvaged depositors' money and to clean the banking sector and restore confidence into the Ghanaian economy. It is this same Ministry of Finance, in the Eswal John Dramani Mahama government took the country to IMF bailout. It is this same Ministry of Finance that successfully brought the IMF bailout to an end in 2019. It's clearly, you see, I have come through a civil society organizations. I appreciate their support. I appreciate their integrity. And I appreciate the fact that on a consistent basis, they need to be credible and objective in their analysis. But me, to say, a state institution has been reckless with the management of their funds. That is inappropriate.
Okay.
I will have time to deal with the money issue. So me read it through the documents in here. Now me bring it up their sample size and all the arguments they are raising. But on this platform, it is the Ministry of Finance, and all their sector agencies with GRA, all those other agencies underneath, even now, the Ministry of Finance has brought out one of the most innovative policies, controversially, even globally around the world, is the electronic levy. The electronic levy, as we know it, Ghana for and even the opposition party would agree in principle that it is the way SSE Echo. They might disagree in principle with the percentages, but they agree in principle because every time consistently, we hear say we be thinking forward. And clearly, in a manner of democratic governance, how is it that globally, the world is becoming digital? How is it that on the digital economy, the infrastructure is growing, the monies that are going within the digital economy has grown from 76 million in 2016 to close to about 500 billion to 900 billion as of 2021? How is it that that economy is growing within that environment? It's for me, Imani Ghana and their liking skill, they should bring it out. Liking skill, you see here, sample size, you see here. But to say that the Ministry of Finance has been reckless, it's inappropriate.
Okay, but
they should record that statement.
So we to look at baby Asikano a free air back office be reporting and it's 25 million a free back. But my other guest, Alex Asafo J, are joining me Alex Asafo J. Lexis. Boko, Isha Kumasi Boko there. Well, and come on, 25 million as seed money for the construction of the National Cathedral. Adrian Bebre and Imani say Finance Ministry reckless. Udrin Hussein, Alex.
Okay, in this year, that's my main for when you're chair a reform and no more muti or Asempa FM. See, you meet him in na me what dream.
Yeah, so a buying commitment. Won't say, but
esan say meeting some justification maybe wa na ode tudwa relative to Imani for research or model abeto abontia na eye me nwanwa pi edikan what's the finance ministry na and Imani Ghana say omo very reckless when it comes to expenditures omo na banking sector clean up omo ye no massive customers be enya no credit they were very reckless in taking that action. Why? Yet Kroma, owura kenofuriata na beka chere say because most of the financial institutions are insolvent. Omo liquidity challenges. Enti senka yitimi nya be 9 billion Ghana cedis near the ma omo a. Omo ebetimi aso masene ama omo stay solvent. Omo liquid. Omo betimi atua adwumayefo omo institutions no muka. Omo betimi so e de customer sika ama omo. Nyesa na obeka 9 billion CJU a year. But this finance minister, instead of getting the 9 billion for these banks, said the bank can survive. No more we juma banks one, juma more monanka by this time. And no creating sustaining unemployment challenge I face as a country. What did the finance minister do? Okoboro as much as almost 22 billion Ghana cedis. At the Babe Goo banks. Ama and no say banks na gu. Workers are na juma woman tifie. Customers in no biampo na as we speak in sa account ni sika. Opa me we am sending video biama or papa pani.
But the motive was to protect depositors' money.
And depositors now also protect your money. And almost to say as we speak. How many years on? Ebisu omo sanka omo sika. And protection we. One abeka chere say omo 9 billion. CJTO omo 9 billion na ebe protect depositors. Because the banks will be solvent. The banks will be liquid. Customers ban was omo be you omo sika omo sabeka. But you chose 9 billion. Ama 22 billion. Edi be collapse banks no. ama besine ebi musi omunsanka omusika me wo video bi I'll just send it to you when I'm done with my submission. Enti nyansa be ne wom de ka so obi o take his decision wey reckless also won't ase obi a CJ ma me fambra from na ahwefo ntimase te said me de wo de make 50 Ghana cedis na makobo pa mako producer ho akobo ne pa say the 200 Ghana cedis na akoji me 50 cedis breme nyansa be ne wo nyansa be ne wo CJ ye tia ye na we wo adwene me wo adwene bi
okay bank okay for no see
so what you say enti say obi babonte be ka say such an institution ye reckless me hu de enti e wo say obi timi abufu say on tiase
Alex Enfan Komoni Mbra National Cathedral no so 25 million Ghana cedis seed money.
Okay. Enti on the more substantive issue no. You see me ra ho ama Ghana. Me re aho ama
adentia.
Na owura kenofori atankasa no. Oyo obi a anka the offer even before the vetting. Yare de yemfansere obi. I was saying by this time odwene heaven ko. I was saying oma nyamesuro ebura nakomam. Na sika ye wia ne connection sem ne ade no ogi free na kwan
o ka sika ye wia
me ba why yet kroma president Akufo-Addo told ye nyina ye say National Cathedral project it was a personal pledge to God. Yes I no ka kire wo CJ wo tia sensentro ni no Nana Akufo-Addo say Nyankopon bo say o we ni power or no political power no o we ni a obesi dan ma Nyankopon na wo but obeji Ghana for your consent
but meba say me per position me per mampani di na me shebo say me ba asafo agye mesi classroom e de asi wukroma na no ntese me am di bottom sika na me ma be but I make that promise
mama ka asem tro you cannot president no at the whims and caprices entimi decide anything and be spending the taxpayers money enunti na so or ye budgeter or the fat parliament said ye be ya Ghana fo nyina ya na musifo na wo ho no ye be kire ya dwan fa ho which one to approve and which one not to approve and the president needs to me na CJ wo kire no enunti na opese o ye budgeter ye say one famra sebedwam emra sebedwam no e representation of the whole nation you are aware
yes
enti ho na ye kire ya dwan say sa sika we ya opese odo won saka na ye mpene ana ye be pene enye za na tie enti president needs to me na opese enne wo de mano no woni sa tumi no ontimi nkonko hye ne mprabo emefa Ghana fo sika nkonko ye ontimi nkonko ye ne personal pledges to God e wo bibia opeti se de wakobo sonso we the only difference is that o say Nyankopon no o hye ne bo
sika sika no nkofa mfiri hin sika no de besi
no o hye bo no oni mba bi o be just kind of
o hye bo so obesi su adan ahobro
meba
ayo man sika no de besi su adan ayo man sika no de be ye kwan he made promises
meba CJ meba senti so ko tigare so no ka se tigare bo amena medi president na media meba ba besi abosom dan fo framawa e no ka say ye ne or for failure pledge no into the Ghana for sika na panka be pene. What is the difference between say Nyankopon boa me na me medi president na me bedi amesi dan amaw ene makoti gare ho aka chen say boa me na me medi president na me bedi amesi abosom dan what is the difference?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing and you think it is right say o mampani be ko ne bosom so ana obekọ baabi na ono akọ hye ne bo in a bid to become president of Ghana. No be fa me ni usika abra wo sebo no. Wa meji adwenkyere.
But in any case, unim baby asika ni free because
meba go and check office of the president.
Yes.
Omo actual spendings from January to 9th December. They have actually allocated 32 million Ghana cedis. Before 25 we are 32 million Ghana cedis for consultancy and interviewing of contractors I do mbese adwuma. President any minimum back say they were not going to use public funds for Cathedral. No, you guys should take this government on.
The point is, and your name Dr. John Kuma, or say project no, abain, sorry no, and an individual.
Are you now taking the words of John Kuma, who is deputy finance minister?
It's a discussion. It's a discussion. Yeah, okay, you know, and I'm a day to you. So you also bring your point.
CJ, my point is that at the initial stages, President Akufo-Addo was emphatic say a personal pledge. And Ghana for nyina abotoye say well, so mampani akwose ne bono ono abepe kwan bi so de every sika de akwakosi a emfire. Okay, they were even more emphatic say asase pe and a idea or move contribute towards the building of the National Cathedral. Meboa catchem say meboa. Eti almost that is all mubu the nani him so mubu ye no the assassin National Cathedral Secretariat na every. Now, Mark pointing out at you say the actual spendings from the office of the president from January to 9 December 2021, they actually spent 32 million Ghana cedis. They released that amount to National Cathedral Secretariat, say omonfanya consultancy on the project and the process of interviewing contractors. And you think it is fair? 32 million Ghana cedis. On top of it,
plus 25.
Plus, yes.
Yeah.
Which plus 25, 57 million. They say almost releasing another 25 million Ghana cedis, which is 57 million Ghana cedis. And bro, why you Mexicana according wa ne chanyum de CMPA Mahamano.
Okay.
What
but the justification for Cathedral Enra, Deputy Finance Minister say, Moma Penso, you found interest in paying judgment debt. For instance, paying 50 billion to what you may.
I said, do I see the CJ Unti. I was saying, oh, Casa, no catcher and says, Assam, we and Tossum, when you come put uti. Government will buy on to a judgment debt. A bank will buy, check the records on to a judgment debt. Go through the budget 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 budget. Correct on to a judgment debt. You see, these people talk as if we are still we are seeing answer the see. Omufi so mo ye kwaku ananse. Adwene na eda ni tirim no wo CJ wo hu say bi na utirim. Na nka donkuma be kasa asem we a kire. So obu and owo ni die de ma. Say school na okoye no wakobi. Die wo sua na bi na wo wasua. Unim nyansa te say do no unim nyansa. It's about priorities. There be priorities near the judgment debt no. Maka kire say wo tua bi. Enti priority be bi o. Na want to a judgment debt, then we can have an argument about where to a judgment debt bebre. Enti sa basis argument on the basis moot flat. A flies in the face of facts na dey anim wahano. Enti wo kura ni kwasa osososo. Sa sem we obeka kire ofin say ye jimijimi ne etikruma ho. Oka say ye wo huru ye nim e de kosoro enye sa. Dokumo onya abotre say young man. Owo emre bebre wo nanim adwuma we nyansa kwantu. Wahwe obeke cancel bebre obese ne ho. Why yeti kroma? School feeding. Onti kroma na school feeding caterers. Esu say aban entimi mo musika onti kroma. Omude be feeding kola 97 pesos per child. Just not enu 1 cedi. Esu so aban we entimi ntua. Amene school feeding caterers wa hunyehiem kola no omo ye beneficiaries no. E wa hunyehiem. Besi na 3 years ni textbooks ay de be man kola aban so oni sika o de be. Textbooks I'll point something out to you.
Okay.
NAPCO for abandi omuka ontimintua for the first time national service personnel threatening some because strike because of non-payment of the allowances. Meboa kachem say meboa youth in afforestation. Omu nan say omu start some code enu. What is omu threatening say omu ntua omuka the next enu obesa code they won't participate. See the now uti kroma. Enti abem won say sa nsem na dwonko and look health insurance. Omu the service providers ka and look they are shocking. They say, CJ, have you seen this report? In the third section of the 7th Parliament of the 4th Republic, report of the Committee of the Whole.
Okay, where the proposed formula for the disbursement
March 2019
of the National Health Insurance.
And you get to understand why this government is so reckless when it comes to expenditures. Now, on page 10, paragraph 13.17, included in the release of funds, amounting 358.85 million to the Ministry of Health, was an amount of 163.66 million paid to nursing trainees as allowances. The committee was displeased about the payment and requested NHIA never to use NHIF for such purposes. Sika meneo yetie twa tie si afankoto National Health Insurance Fund mu na ukwa hospital ukita National Health Insurance card yetimi ahwe no aban wei esi sika ni ho you sue National Health Insurance taxes and the nursing trainee allowances. But about 32 million. Our Debekakoma National Cathedral Secretariat say, Yafanya consultancy, and say contract abetraman near interview, who's amount way, Utia,
okay,
a sin with him. About 25 million Ghana cedis. Say Fankoma National Cathedral Secretariat because Nanado, I am the personal pledge. Nanado, I had a personal pledge to God. And said they were called no personal pledge. Meno Tiwoi, Ye nyina ye nim say aban we sika ni ho. Ene me no kese or the sanitation levy or the boiler tax abeto me no so. Yare aba e friend COVID-19 a enya me no ne kofa bae no. Aban we se ne ho akere no. To akofa COVID-19 levy. Yare no wakofa aba me se enya nwa say otena bi
sorry dan no.
Sorry dan na ye tie yi eye priority. Say aban we obi a odwene konkan a time COVID-19 bae na da sorry dem. COVID-19 bae ya na say edo mu wuo na ye do mu to University of Ghana Medical Center. You see me ba wo wi wanwu. Say edo wanwu. Me busa wanwu ana. Carlos Ahim probu nyina ya nye o manto. Health minister ya nyina anto. Say do mama hu nyansa am prioritize the way e be spend Ghana sika.
Alex,
Alex me ba. Anka sorry dan ye we.
Alex, aban say enya sorry dan ya ye kwa akotena mu keke o. Na yakobọ mpa yo. Library, museum, enti e car wo de hyem no kura na ye be si awie no in about the coming years. Ye betimi atesaka ni nyina.
Ba bia ye tin ne ya. COVID-19 wo ho. Yes, monkeypox crab afi na aban no de no ma egu akom say de be ye bi nro man we. Maka tro say yentimi textbooks man kwala. Maka tro say namkofo yentimi ntu omoka. Maka tro say national service personnel yentimi ntu omoka. Service providers, national health insurance yentimi ntu omoka. You think our priority should be to be and they say what he spending millions of Ghana cedis on national cathedral. Sorry that na me busa was say. Say common sense na eludi yet said ye kra. COVID-19 buy. Ye kwada sorry dem one na me busa. Sorry dem ye kwada. Amanfo ehia oxygen na na wose edisi wo mo so no ye koda sorry dem amanfo ehia nose mask any sanitizers e dia bo mo ban ye friends Veronica Bakes na omo dia wohoro mo nsa no ye koda sorry dem ba bia ye tie na abanso woni sika a wo de be kushin OMCs ni BDC said they buy fuel price no stabilization fund no ha obetimi a promise of look even though the wet bucket price of crude is going on rising no Mr. Mumamuntum at the pump. But my difference price differentials I will pay. Said the buyer can be boa me no. Yeah. I buy no so nisika enti ye 2 man na omso atum.
Alex.
But me the man no see for mamina. Hwe. Opeso who how reckless this government is. Go to the 2020 media review budget. Check appendix 4E. I buy we be catch me no. Enye we a tip of the iceberg wo. I buy we catch me no say they spent 598 million on the provision of sanitizers, any tissue. CJ, we are an astute journalist. Who tissue manufacturing company be cost saying? Who be a sanitizer producing company be cost saying? And I buy catch them will be confused here Jimmy. Or catch them no say what 598. Me last one 30 seconds.
Alex has a for you.
I buy way our appendix 4E 2020 media review budget. Appendix 4E catch them say were allocating 1.476 billion Ghana cedis. Listen to me, $1 million. 1.476 billion Ghana cedis for consultancy, project design on Agenda 111.
Okay. Alex, me that's it. Progress, my member. Tell me di kan no. In fact, honorable John Kuma chrim, baby a kwanya efa so SC Cathedral no. Osisi no be free aban ho. Ebi nso be free asore no ho. And individuals me kai pass aye fundraisings ahodo amanonene ade nyina aye fundraisings in aid of Sa Cathedral, but there's not been any proper account friends saying kontabuo bia to show say okay so far asori no e dey say e na aba yenya say so every individuals ho and yenya say so e dey free aban ho sa sika 25 million ni e hin fa free. Can you help us? Public
Many of them say Oshe National Cathedral now on board. Board chairman here Apostle Professor Pokonyi.
Yes.
On the chair board. Now Chrome Hanom yenim say ya bind there. President Nana Dankwa Kufuor continually why very accountable. Sikebia Nisabeka so beko akọ Jefia monene and I see be raising internally no. About very very accountable Omagana fo hu senior sika no yedidi hu juma. Even in this country Minyabema say obi pese ohun jumadia ye disika bia ya expenditure Minyabema e kwa imrada ho ya ITI obetumi akọ request no hu senior jumadia ni ye disika no ye even public procurement account kra mo ye meeting ye de nyama ni nya betudwa e mangana for ehun jumadia no sika ye de ye. But to be fair Minyabema say ohwe ye National Cathedral any sika ye contribute here Minyabema elevating the argument in any conversation. I see who near the 2 year pass senior kind of National Cathedral no economic development we have born mine. The number of tourists are on born mine even in year of return. Have a close to about 1 million plus people are almost feed diaspora mobile. Now to me who even the infrastructure in car or mining as a result of that. Number 2, cathedrals be St. Paul's Cathedral, Sika, St. Paul's Cathedral, Edeba, Omu Maimu, it's enormous. Even it's estimated, say, even with the Catholic Church, Sikomunya close to about $10 trillion on a regular basis yearly. As a result, I think of 4 aircraft or cathedrals, no more basilicas, CCC all around the world. Say yes, government has a holistic priority. In Nema abai a dosun. But would narrow down conversation like I say accommodate in kofo yentia way buying person could see sorry Diana. You are discrediting the conversation.
Okay, but if it was that important to the MPP, I didn't hear who manifesto him. And you still maintain, or you also maintain say your manpenny personal promise. I will make it.
If you situate it like that now, you are taking the argument away. Right? Me, baby, I'm fee.
Yes.
Me don't me pa. In my house, I have a temple and a chapel. Me see. Until I go there to worship my God. What you say? It's a separate building. It's a boys' quarters, but it's a temple. I go and meet my God and I pray to my God. We have stated, say, you don't forget about the fact that you are president. Now your personal promise. Now, if you raise the argument and you say, President, another dan Kufuado, and also Washenya Mebo into Peso see National Cathedral. You are watering down the approach. The approach is that Ghana as a country, by extension, even beyond the constitution, because a secular state, by extension, the Ghanaian people have a reverence for a supreme being. Once I establish that fact, so you're Kramoni, so you're Christoni, and that's also Bosom. You have an acknowledgement of a supreme being. In this country, there is not one single infrastructure a combining in our unity and our cause for our Christian agenda or even our Islamic agenda or even our traditional agenda. There is not. Forget about the individual churches I used to know. Okay. It's the Ghanaian country is wanting to where you shed that national character religiously in the nature of the National Cathedral.
Okay, Pogge, for transparency's sake, South 25 million, if we coffers being, can you help us?
The National Cathedral, your board. There's a National Cathedral board.
So if we baby na eba board.
Let's narrate.
Yes.
The National Cathedral, our board. Almost raise funds every time. The almost diaspora. Almost sorry for me who say yeah live launches be all across the country. Senebanko Trobe contributed significantly. Many abema as a Ghanaian people too. Yes, so you quote takakra ye de beka any ye de ka in that amount of money.
So it's the taxpayers' money.
Many abema it is the Ghanaians people's money.
So it's the taxpayers' money.
Many abema na juma bia ye di o mai mu hanom no. It's a taxpayers' money. There's not a single Jumedia Yediwo Chrome Hanoma. It is not the taxpayers' money. So intina utiatu amini abema utiatu for development. Utiatu send ye beya when you go around the economic table. Now would in koma. Also be to me the bibiatu honum say me Chrome Hanum I have A, B, C, and D. Namini abema yaka say in go for person mobile tourism. Ewo Chroma. Uni menia mamore. And ye be pull factors. The National Cathedral no Ghana. Ghana ni SU. National Cathedral you see it will not be named after Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic. Not at all. A National Cathedral you see in the name of the country. When Jubilee House was it built in the name of President John Ajekum Kufuor? No. It's when in community be one man. Yes, situating here. That has a rare unim. Even the Bible, the good book say yamfa monuments be to honoma, a generation will come. They will not know that these people believed in God. And you can ask my dear brother, unless maybe he does not believe in a supreme being. But I'm sure he believes in a supreme being. And he believes, he say, that supreme being, and a woman say in every instance, we should make sure that there is an intrinsic fiber of God in it. To me, I will not sit here to discredit the fact that the National Cathedral is not as important as even paying national service personnel or NAPCO personnel. all these people are Yentio. The government is going to pay them.
Okay, right. Yemfa National Cathedral Komono. Yemfa Nkunko Hokakana fe Yenko. I need to have this interview.
Me rebata ansana ya next.
He
started, I came in and yeah.
That's how Nkomo we like to go. When you debate rebata.
Lawyer Adolfo.
Oba ya trawaje me pen.
But many lawyer Adolfo Chichi Nkomo. La ba what menka?
Ni ametu nka.
Ba to bibia boko de. Hello lawyer.
Aha. What's the kaza?
Me ba to metonka ba to bibia boko.
Ozai.
Me ba to bibia boko wo ye.
Boko na suppose mo ye.
Yegusun kakrakra. Lawyer, we am mranim ni adenti na ususu se Office of the Special Prosecutor wenya interest bi ewo Sir John na japade ene ne weli hu. Lawyer.
Uni ama menchia ona menchie otiefo no ahwefo nyina Special Prosecutor adenti no wenya interest was Sir John na japade ene ne weli no. Simple. Ono asue no the main and also the principal of the office is to prevent and stop corruption. And out here, the vetting now was a very expensive business. Last year, he's almost a year now in office, and I don't know, maybe he feels that he can do it now. But in terms of the mandate here about corruption-related businesses on our enterprise. In terms of our statistics, let's say there is always a smelly fish or something there, and what's your interest? Because we have money in our crampos with the principal reason, if not the main reason, it will be as I say, a forest. I'm saying only the main reason here why I show interest in this case. And it is idea. Then if he feels to say, sir, assets, no, you are for passo and achieve in accordance with his mandate, you know. I think it's in order that he shows interest in that matter. I think this is my preliminary observation in why he's interested.
Okay, because me beside lawyer because a freezy account, you know, every corner account I can't answer me. You can say it's can be anymore lawyer.
But so we'll start investigation. Normally, we through we net not very wide to see what you can catch, and you know the fact that there may not be any money in the account, you know, in itself doesn't mean saying it's worth it. You will be a friend trust but verify. And now in law we have something called fishing expedition. Sometimes you have to throw your net very wide. You have no idea what you're going to catch. And if I were in his position, that's what I would have done. Then I'll start eliminating the ones that are not suspected of criminal or criminality. And that's what I would have done. So freezy BBR. Now if you call one after the other, we property we time ben a nidia. That time no position ben no hold. That time no a public officer. That time no a private citizen. There time we acquire no a private citizen no. A crime by an so now we eliminate it. Now you free now if you want to do time or be a public officer, we officer of the country, being a CEO of Forestry Commission.
Yes.
That's what you mean acquire a forest reserve. Clearly, you start from the premise and say there's a conflict of interest there. Will be a CEO of Forestry Commission, or forest reserve that. Very likely, almost 99.9% in Sabitunaka. So you start to investigate that line as well. And he may feel that the way he's going, it's in order.
Okay.
His mandate is to make sure that the wealth was not acquired unlawfully. And I don't think we can fault him at this stage.
Okay, but lawyer, but my education kakra say obi bobra otia say bobra lawyer ni beye politics kakra beye amadwuma so kakra na woye japade na wo frim na woye well na ade nyina cheche na japade nyina na wo frim mu a na say aban episode setting the well no aside no ye mu hwehwemu a what are the processes for eco school kakra lawyer?
Well, what the emphasis say, and yeah, bank no person setting aside that. When a family member, grab it my say, will wait and you're correct. One, always my say, no, cry a year, and not two, or no, a year at the time, no any mental capacity to do their will. And the mental capacity that maybe and health are deteriorated, the sense not doing chronic that now. And now say, back whether he did the will, and also with back as we cry, and it's we more generally. But in you say John Craft, for example, we just said John signature, said John signature, different. With my raising issue, say they don't trust the will as being the last testamentary, last testament. Sorry, of the deceased. It's about that you have to take the matter to court. Now, where they all in terms of the state being an interested party.
Okay.
Now, state being an interested party, the state itself has to protect the state assets. And the OSP say we interest yes, over freezing man, and over freezing man, the matter will eventually have to go to court. What will happen is that normally it's also set aside that you sue the executives. So your instances be crowd. Maybe I even say opinion wow me no interview. Maybe emra acha uni hono. Utimi ye japade and also to be the name ja. O ma na say nkofo ope o masem. Uni ho a obi wetu aka say wo dan we die. Na nya wo dia. Na ye wo nana e dia. E na abedi ho. Enti ebusuan japade. Eji no sa no. Omo mpene so say wo de be ma because ebusuan japade no. Ye fa ma especially omo di nade no. Akanfo nom ne di nade. E na certain parts like nordness any nkanfo omo di ajade. Enti omo di ema aka ebusuan ho. But akanfo di ema onye ebusuani. Wo ye ba wo ye hoho. And it is a basse. Oh, yeah, well, now do a japade, ma, that's a japadiano, a be woman, a year a busian dear, and I be you are. And also, which we challenge you, no, what we do, all way executives near Omwa, Uber choose almost Uniwa, almost to Tony and Mawachino. Yet Omoko court, and your manu, Omwa, a property, who pet the property becomes trust property being held in the name of trustees. I don't know if I can in the trustees who happens to be the executives.
Yes. Now say almost share a japade no so dey ama ebusuafo no say ye ma say ye wofo asefo say ye nananom say na de nete.
About Osaka question bi o.
Now we got trustees and I me chemu say omo share say nipa di free mu a trustees ni no omo share japade no so Ediama and Mano say yeah, say yeah, say
but in terms of will, no, you're from executives.
Okay.
Executives.
Okay.
Executives. Omuna, they are more like the trustees. Okay, no. Omuna asset to go almost him. Opinions of Bachiche, I will be a yanadi. It's a basa. Omuna or domoko. It will say OSP, bet me. Omo me executives no ebeko court say japade we ya say don de share na you no enye say don dia e state dia and therefore we want the court to take this out before you can go and share as no ko check say japade no we nyane dia and no dey ba share will at the same thing say ebusuan de executives na court say sa dan we anasa sa akoko fam we enye de wawu ne dia it will watch him when ye na court to shame no who's ampa Sakoko family and I say for we. Then you will win it there. And so that kind of will.
Okay, lawyer Bato me bao. eti de way na say nka di kan yen hwehwemu ni wie na court establish say oh asase e da Ramsey site was Springtex yi wa fa kwan pa so na wodi nyae nti ya freeze se sie ya asem mo court ntimi make determination on the properties na ya freeze I mean OSPF freeze I don't know who is saying lawyer
ubusa question said the hin di kan
yes
and I make sure mu say process no so person o tiasie ya we enfa OSP ntinchen na enye ne say individual person bi na ewo interest wo
okay
na enfa ne say John abusuani bi na aba because oh ta na sa si we enye say John dia ne wo fa de koku aye nyina edidi so na wono say John di na de na aba say John it is so John awu o ti fa manema
okay
answer na case na court was sue executives no say sa Japan ye wo wo ma court and granted probate no confirm say court be hu say sa Japan we enye say John dia
okay.
The same situation, OSP or the government of Ghana, it was the executives in the court, but it was freezing the asset, because of a state, the state can do anything. So the American say,
yeah,
to freezing the asset now, no one sue almost say our court, and as the case is already in court, it was joining as an interested party,
okay,
on behalf of the state. Say no woman moka ho asema e ho aba no ye hu se sa Japan we kura no eye aban dia e no de akosa na we mu eti court nyi anu si nchen ana sika ye gu na account mu a ye ba abeche no sika no kura wa anfa kwan a eso fa so lenya ati court nyi anu si nchen na de beka no on so mo kwan no mo nkoche kana ade ne be ye aduma so it OSP may play a role to say obi a o interest I don't know what to the mechanism.
Yeah, lawyer.
Without OS, Fancy Bushani Bina, I ain't happy with the wall. Over to the executives not to court. Say court need to party with Sinching. Because you were wounded. Is it OS because of the country, state, interest in assets now, Ababeda, Pefim.
Okay.
And to another Quaco say, court is 7. Sa Japan we die ye hwehwe mu no kire se enye ekwan a ana wa afa kwan paso ne nyaa enti mu nyimfiri ho ana se enye ne dia e ya pan dia eno da se ne we mu nti umma kwan me cha enye yi
okay
what you say
me bato Matthias enti eno sa okay but answer na ye beto aso no Ura Franklin Kujo adjoining via Zoom. He's the president for Imani Africa. We're joining via Zoom but lawyer se eba ni sa me no ye de ajapade no ama me asase 4 acres da Achimota Forest Reserve ye se ye mfa ma CJ ye me na sam ko kire mu kire court kwan a me wo fa no efa so enya asase no ye me na sam ko kire mu lawyer
so you have no idea would oti baby no enya win for oti baby no dilotu would you ni hu say na you don't have a right at this stage So because you are only a beneficiary. Beneficiary, you don't really have any right in law until the property has been vested in you. Because this is a property now, I'm an about him as well your right. At this stage, the only people are almost say, almost appointed over somewhere executives. So what I say, because what I will know, because me what I me choose assume say, oh, me no mo to many maye o sie me na eka bia beba no omutua obamde obakagina aka na ajapade we no we nko we ho ta o daze
yeah Matthias
etu omo ne yebesi wo mo etu omo na beti akoko wota akotete se ya se don asase we ko woto na me wo
na me okay
anase we no ajapade we kura na me yese minise na nimfa ho they no any dia nya creso will be yi omo na be wo say so almost make my friend as the force e bia na ba we kura no no susu ni hu bi
okay all right lawyer Bato Jina suma me na member Owura Franklin Kujo